Today we're going to talk about what a good sales strategy is. Okay? I'm going to show you today what I use for my strategy on selling to customers and how to help them. And hopefully it'll help you. I'll share with you some tips and tricks that I use and basically what strategy is and how it's going to help you gain influence and more sales. All right? So let's dive in right now and get to it. So basically what a strategy is, a plan. You got to have a plan. Make your plan, work your plan. That's something that I was taught when I first got into sales. You got to have a plan when you're interacting with a customer. We literally had sales call action plans. That's right. We had to do prep work. Just like a football team that goes out to play in the NFL doesn't just walk out there and go, you know what, just wing it. We'll figure out what we're going to do. You have to go and do some hard work and study to make sure that your plan and your strategy is successful. And sometimes, on the fly, you have to make little tweaks to your strategy and your plan. So, let's get into what I've used for years and how it could help you. So basically, I wrote the book, The Sales Process Uncovered. And in there, I walk people through the steps, the 5 buying decisions that the customer has to make before they're going to buy, and the 10 steps that you walk through with the customer and how to achieve more sales and help them and serve them. So my overall strategy is, number 1, how can I serve the customer? That's my goal. And every meeting, how can I serve the customer and help them? That single strategy right there will help you gain more sales just by getting it into the heart of the matter and making you focus on not just how I'm going to make a sale, but how I can help the customer. That has been the single most successful thing I've ever done. But you also have to make sure you have a strategy on how you're going to build rapport, which is basically likability, how you're going to build trust, and how you're going to grow your influence with the customer. There's lots of tips and tricks out there to do it. In my process, I show you how to basically gain and move up into those buying decisions and the strategy behind it and the tools and how you can do it. But you definitely have to do your research on your prospect if you can. Sometimes people are going to show up and you're not going to be able to, know everything about them. But you can ask questions. You can ask them lots of questions. What brings them in? What's their goals? What's their timelines? And understand their needs. If we don't answer their needs, they have no use for us. Because, the 3 questions that they're asking us, do I like you? Do I trust you? And how can you help me? If we can't help them, they're not buying from us. And if they don't like us, they're not buying from us. And if they don't trust us, they're not buying from us. So I follow the process, and it's worked for me in different industries, different environments, different people, different backgrounds. The sales process I set up is my overarching strategy and how I'm going to be successful. So you got to have a process. And I know it sounds boring to have a process, but here's what happens in some of the high achieving organizations. I'm going to talk about Navy SEALs. That's right. Those are the big guys, right? Everybody sits there and goes, wow, those guys, they go out and execute almost flawlessly every time. They're successful. If you go look at it, there's tons of Navy SEALs that have gone on to be very successful leadership coaches and whatnot. Well, the reason is that they set up a strategy and then they practice. They make sure that they refine stuff after they've practiced it, find best practices, and how they can move forward again and further on the next time. They go over everything so much that it is like second nature to them. That's right. It's kind of like brushing our teeth or going to the bathroom. They know it inside and out every time. When they go into a mission, that's why it's so flawless, because they practice it and they follow a process. Go and do, now go review. Go and do, then go review. So we need to make sure that we're following our process. on how we're going to build our strategies. So every time you're going to interact with somebody, you got to know where you're at in the process and what's your strategy to move you to the next step. So follow the process and you'll make more success in sales, is what I'm going to tell you right here. Same process I set up over a decade ago, and it's worked brilliantly. I've done $100 deals with it, and I've done multi-million, multi-year contracts and everything in between. I've even managed almost $1 billion in spend. Billion is a B by using the same process that you can put your product or service in. So following the process will help you go through it. Now, what I can tell you is, as you work through the sales process and work these strategies, your influence starts increasing with the customers. And what happens when you overserve a customer and give them such a great experience? Well, they tell others about it. And then those people will start coming in and talking to you and getting your insight and finding out if you can help them. By building influence and having a service heart, going out there to serve the customer, you're going to gain influence and you're going to be more prosperous. It's worked out. It's kind of like when you give something away. It's hard to receive something in your hand when it's clenched like this. But if you have an open hand and you're helping people, it's easier for stuff to be put into your hand. So focus on your strategy of serving the customer and following a process. All right, catch you next time. If you got any questions in between, reach out. I got links below to help you get to me. All right, thank you.